Welcome to Dizzarian Plays MMOs. Today I'm going to give my 4-hour review of Star Wars The Old Republic. Now I know this is very new to the channel and nobody does 4-hour reviews. And what this actually means is I have previously played on this channel 4-hour blocks of Star Wars The Old Republic. So you can see all of my playthrough of Star Wars The Old Republic every hour as I've done it. After 4 hours, I think it's time to go ahead and give a review. The reason I think 4 hours is a good spot is because that's generally the time that I lose interest in an MMO or a game, or I continue to love the game and want to play it. I know it's unfair to completely judge a game based only on 4 hours, but again, I think a lot of people make a decision on whether they're going to continue playing a game or not based on the initial 4 hours. So let me know what you think of this style of review, if this is useful or not, down in the comments. For now, let's go ahead and get on to it. First, I want to talk about the positives I had with Star Wars The Old Republic. First, I think the environment really looks good. I started as a Sith Marauder, and playing through some of the initial areas where they had the grand statues and all through the valley, and even some of the enemy mobs and stuff, I just really enjoyed the environment and the looks of the game. The main characters, like the main Darth characters, which were unlike the normal characters that you could create. They were really well done and very interesting to look at. The whole game was very interesting to look at. The way the lightsabers play looked when you're actually dealing damage and everything else, like jumping into it and dealing with dual sabers and stuff, that just looked really awesome. The most impressive thing about Star Wars The Old Republic is obviously the story, and everybody knows this. Everybody knows that when you play Star Wars The Old Republic, a lot of people are strictly playing it for the story, and it's understandable why. The storyline is really good and very impactful. I mean, like, you feel it. It's like there's decisions that you make, your dark and light decisions, and they're very fun and challenging to do. Like, your companion reflects on your decisions. Some of the dark side decisions that I was making, I was trying to do mainly dark side, and some of the dark side decisions were almost too dark for me to even choose. Like, I just couldn't morally do it. So I think that was really good. Of course, this is BioWare that created the storyline, so they're very good at that type of thing. And it shows. The storyline is terrific, just even in the first 4 hours, and I'm very interested to find out more and see where my character goes just because of the story. Also, we took a look through the tutorial system. I didn't skip any of that. I read every bit of the tutorial system, and it's very well done. I mean, it makes you kind of read each part. They always had like 3 little sections that makes you actually read the tutorial, and I thought that was a good decision. It makes you actually kind of think about what it's trying to describe to you, and it made it so that the game systems actually were understandable. Although I know this game is much deeper, and there's all sorts of things inside your character selection window and stuff that are just like look very confusing, and I don't know if the tutorial system keeps going on that, so I'm a little concerned about that there just may be so much systems in this that it can be very overwhelming to people, especially if you don't have a subscription. So much of the screens have subscription buttons next to them. Like, you have to either be subscribed or you have to purchase these items with cartel coins. So with that, let's go ahead and go into the negatives. It did feel like there was a lot of places where there was a lot of microtransactions that it wanted you to buy, which isn't necessarily bad, and I understand wanting to be a subscription. This used to be a subscription game, and if I was to play long term, I definitely would buy a subscription. So I think that's the way to go if you're going to do it. But as a free-to-play player, I hate the cluttered interfaces when everything is just in your face saying that this is the part where you need to pay. Like, that always bothers me. So it's a plus and a minus. I mean, it's a free-to-play game, so you get to play for free, so you can't knock these kind of systems too much. Next, my main gripe with this game is the controls are atrocious. I feel so disconnected from my character when I'm playing this game. I had to modify my INI file just to make it to where my character wouldn't spin out of control. Like I moved the slider all the way to the left where it was the least sensitive, and it still just spun like crazy whenever I was doing this. And I've had to look online. I found a Reddit to where I could modify the INI file where I could like move the sensitivity even down lower. I mean, I do have a high performance mouse, but it's just like this game doesn't feel right. The controls are just terrible. Moving around doesn't feel great. Like I'm hitting buttons, like it's just like a face roll, like as far as what you're doing. It's just like I'm just gonna hit buttons and do that. Like to me, if you're going to have that kind of system, and it does look very action-based. Like I said, it looks terrific when your character is actually performing all these moves. But like in that case, it feels like this should be like a limited action set MMO. You know, like Elder Scrolls Online or Guild Wars 2 or any of those that have a smaller set and you actually choose what you're doing, and it makes it more action-based. And you know, we're talking about Jedis and stuff. This should be action-based. I love normal MMOs that have this kind of stuff. So I don't normally say that a game should be this. But for whatever reason, Star Wars The Old Republic feels like it should be a limited action set MMO to me. My next big gripe, and it was in hour 4 of this that it really came to light, was travel is boring and time consuming. We were traveling a lot in this hour 4, and it's like there was nothing happening. And I talk about it in hour 4. You know, this is a symptom of subscription games, is a lot of times they have big time sinks. And since this was originally a subscription game, it still has those in there. I understand why they do the travel. You get to see these massive areas and like really cool places, but it was just like boring. Like it wasn't that impactful, and it was, I don't know, it really kind of grated on me that my 4th hour of the video was boring as far as I'm concerned. It was, if I continue on playing Star Wars The Old Republic, I can no longer do hour-long playthroughs. I'm going to have to cut them up and remove the grind of travel. I didn't find the combat to be grindy. Like killing mobs and stuff still was fun, and that didn't get out of control. So I didn't feel like that. It was really the travel that bothered me. The last thing I wanted to talk about on the negative side was the character creation. It's pretty bad. You know, like the character models look pretty dopey. In fact, at one point I ran into my clone for my character that was part of the dialogue. So like there was an NPC and he looked almost identical to me, except maybe he had the skinny model instead of the medium-sized model. Like it's just, they're really bad. They really need to redo those, and this is part of this. Just the feeling of play is not right. And you know, and just going through the character creator, you know, some of the alien races do look better, but the human races, the normal humanoid races are, just couldn't get into it. In conclusion, I think the game could really do with an overhaul of the combat and control system, like Secret World did. They revamped the control system there, and you know, some people hate it and some people don't, but I think this game could really do for a makeover of the control system and just making the gameplay better. It's the gameplay to me is just not there, but the story is there. The story is amazing and should not be touched. It looks great. I love the decisions. There's just nothing I can fault this game for as far as storyline, and even like some of the side quests are terrific. So the question is, am I going to continue to play Star Wars The Old Republic after the 4 hours? I think so. Like I said, I am very compelled to see the storyline, but if I do, they're going to be shorter playthroughs on the channel. You know, I'm going to cut out the travel times and the grindiness of it. It's just hard to say. So, you know, ultimately this review you'll see how well I like it on whether or not I continue to play it after this point. And I'm kind of wishy-washy on it. I really don't know. So I know that's not a real conclusive answer. I just really wish the negatives they could fix, and they would be mind-blowing. I think a lot more people would be playing Star Wars The Old Republic on a daily basis if they fix the controls, if they change the actions, change the actions to limited action set. And I don't know if they can fix the travel, and that's okay. I'm okay with longer travel times. That's really more of a complaint with me creating videos, but the other systems are really kind of iffy. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you hit the like button or leave a negative comment or comments, whatever comments you want to add, go right ahead. What do you think of this 4-hour review style? If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers, and I would love it if you were a part of those subscribers. So, till next time, bye.